Hi there, Tom Mary with Workman's Dashboard here. In this tutorial, I'd like to show you some of the basic company setting functions. If I skip over some things here, just know that those will be covered in a separate tutorial. But this is, I'm in the admin panel here, and the way that you get to that is up in the top right corner. If you click this drop down next to your login name and you click admin panel, that's how I got here. There are several tabs here that I'd like to show you. The first of which is settings on the top left. So these are functions that you do when you first sign up for the software, and you're basically just getting all of your nuts and bolts in there to prepare for your users to start using it. So here we have our company logo, and this is, I have a mock company set up here called Acme Painting Company. And so I found a little stock image of a painter guy there. To update that, you can either click here and choose a file, or you can just drag and drop a file onto here and it will automatically upload. Some of these other things on this page I'm going to save for a separate tutorial, other than this bid header section. So you can, this is essentially language that shows up near the top of your bid, which I'll show you that in a minute. You can write a custom message here. So in our case, we wrote, please contact your estimator if you'd like to proceed with the work, or if you have any questions, so forth and so on. So whatever you put in here is going to appear on every bid. If you don't want something there, or can't come to some consensus on what should be there uniformly on every bid, you can just leave it blank if you prefer. Next, let me show you this edit contract language here. So this is the standard contract language that you want to appear at the bottom of every bid. So I put some stuff in here, some lorem ipsum text. And this is kind of neat because you can use the text editor up here. Let's just call this terms and conditions. And we can make that bold, we can center it. You can italicize things, you can make a place down here for your customer signature. So we'll save that, and then let me show you where that's going to appear. So if you actually go into a job and produce a bid, go into Kiwi's Kitchen here, go in and produce a quote. We'll see that the bid header language that I put in about contacting your estimator, that appears up here below all the contact information and above the actual pricing. And then at the bottom you have your standard contract language that appears down here. So moving along, in the company info area, the next tab over here, we put in our name, our company email address, website, phone number, fax, address. These are going to appear most prominently on your actual bid, so it's important to get these things in there. The user management tab is going to be covered in a separate tutorial. There's quite a bit of complexity and explanation in that section. The bid fields are standard recurring things that you tend to use as far as descriptions in your business, in your bid process. So in the case of this painting company, I just chose a few samples here just to get some basic examples in here. So a painting contractor does house painting, deck painting, and fence painting. I'm sure if you're a painting contractor, you'll add a whole host of other things to that list. But the purpose of this is to save time and automate the process of preparing a quote. So rather than on each individual job having to hand type explanations that are very common that you use over and over multiple times a day and a week, we want to set up defaults in here so that you don't have to type those every time you prepare a bid. You can basically click and select something. So you'll see we have these different top-level product service categories, and then under that we have descriptions. So these are the actual line item descriptions that you'll see. And one of the neat things in here is that you can set up default units and default prices. So if you do bid things on a unit price basis, This is really slick as far as not having to do a lot of work other than point and click to your description. It's going to pre-populate the price and really save a lot of time in preparation of your bids. If you wanted to add new categories, you would do it up here. So I'll just say new category, and then you just start typing whatever descriptions you have in here. And then away you go. Add field, it's going to save that. The next area is your bid comments area, the next tab here. These are, again, standard things that you don't want to have to freehand type on each proposal, but under your line items and underneath your price, we have the ability to add common things that we want to communicate to the customer. So we might want to tell them that a 50% down payment is required. Please sign below. On the contract page to schedule this work, please visit our website for more information. You have the ability within each job to write custom descriptions, but this is kind of a top level place where you can put all your common things. So if you want to put these three things on every bid or nearly every bid, it's a good idea to set those defaults up in here so you don't have to retype that 500 times a year. So it's just a good time-saving item. I'm going to skip the activities for now and show you the lead sources. So one of the key things that we like to track in our contracting businesses is just why the phone's ringing. So setting these up in the admin panel is a great way to make sure that all your different users are putting good information in the system. The user cannot freehand type their own lead source on each job. They have to select something essentially that the administrative user says is possible. So the reason for that is that we'd quickly get a lot of bad data or duplicate data in there if people could freehand type. So I've just thrown some examples in here. You know, we get referrals from customers, from employees, maybe it's internet search, radio, trade shows, public works. There's lots of different ways and reasons why our phone rings. We like to be able to track that and know and understand which of those mechanisms are working and which ones are duds that we need to stop doing. So that concludes this tutorial of the basic company setting features. There will be, like I said, other more advanced explanations of some of these other features in future tutorials. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the string below, and we'll see you next time.